In typical water cooler TV fashion, HBO's The Last of Us is the talk of the internet every Sunday, but Once Upon a Time Episode 3 takes the show to new heights. Already heralded as the best TV series of 2023 and an instant classic of the small screen, long time focuses on Bill and Frank, Tessa and Joel's longtime ally. Although the episode ends with a scene between Joel and Ellie following Tessa's last wishes and wandering into Bill and Frank's compound, most of a long time took place in the past. Departing from the classic storytelling of The Last of Us games, Episode 3 turns what could have been one-off filler into a haunting, beautifully executed tale of enduring gay love. Much of that feeling comes from Linda Ronstadt's Once Upon a Time, which is the title of this series. Bill and Frank in HBO's The Last of Us. Director Peter Hall paints an intimate portrait of two people finding purpose and joy in a crumbling, brutal world, and it takes time. First, the audience is introduced to survivor Bill, a slightly paranoid prepper who is building a bunker of weapons and supplies in his basement. As FEDRA agents arrive and leave his small Massachusetts town, Bill begins looting stores and power plants, turning his home into a solid state with electricity, running water, and other luxuries unavailable in this post-pandemic world. Bill's reserved but functional lifestyle changes one day when Frank, an insane man, falls into one of the compound's traps. No cordyceps infection, Frank is on his way to the Boston quarantine zone but hasn't eaten in days. Despite his hesitation, Bill invites Frank to a bath and dinner. There are appropriate raw moments. Bill hasn't really gotten along with people in years. Frank is shocked by Bill's arrangement and the rabbit and Beaujolais meal he just had. Before leaving, Frank approaches Bill's antique piano, eager to play something on it. What song is Bill playing on the piano? After flipping through a few pages of sheet music, his mother's classics, Bill said Frank bought a songbook he knew was Bill's taste. The songbook features versatile, genre-crossing singer Linda Ronstadt, and Frank chooses the heartbreaking Once Upon a Time. After playing and singing a very unusual piece, Frank convinces Bill to play the Ronstadt classic. When Bill finished, Frank asked what he was singing about, who was that girl. And when Bill said there were no girls, Frank said he knew and kissed the survivor. From there, Bill and Frank's years-long love story unfolds in the post-apocalyptic world of The Last of Us. At the end of the episode, the story returns to modern times. Joel and Ellie drive Bill and Frank's truck, and when Ellie complains about the music, Joel tells her that the iconic singer is Linda Ronstadt. Understandably, even though Ellie doesn't know who the singer is, it's the perfect ending to the episode for viewers. After all, there's no denying that the song Bill played on the piano, Linda Ronstadt's longtime no-see, filling the truck as Joel and Ellie drove away, epitomized Bill's long-term relationship with Frank. Who is Linda Ronstadt? Linda Ronstadt is a retired American singer known for her ability to perform in a variety of musical genres, including rock, country, operetta, Latin, and more. Ronstadt has received 11 Grammy Awards for her incredible contributions, including a Lifetime Achievement Award, a Kennedy Center Honor, an Emmy, and a Latin American Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. After establishing himself professionally in the 1960s, Ronstadt scored more than 120 albums, collaborating with other greats Neil Young, Paul Simon, Earl Scruggs, Johnny Cash, Flaco Jimenez, Philip Glass, and Frank Zappa. Although she retired in 2011 after a degenerative disease affected her singing skills, Ronstadt remains one of the world's best-selling female artists of all time, with more than 100 million records sold. Long Time, written by Gary White, the song Bill played on the piano in The Last of Us, became Ronstadt's hit in 1970. The Grammy-nominated folk rock song is from Ronstadt's album Silk Purse, Why The Last of Us Changed Bill and Frank's Story. According to series co-creator Craig Mazin, The Last of Us Episode 3 breaks up the horror and brutality of previous episodes. Wanting to flesh out Bill and Frank's story, Frank is dead in the game when the player meets Bill. Mazin found his co-creator, Neil Druckmann, who wrote and co-directed the video game's source material. For Druckmann, the game version of Bill and Frank serves the gameplay, so he's excited to take a deeper look at the characters and the events of the series version. Once, deftly describing the 20 years that have passed since the outbreak of the nocturnal caterpillar fungus, also focuses on happiness, the fact that even in this harsh world, good things are available to people. While both Bill and Frank die at the end of the episode, the show assures viewers that it's not a tragic suicide at the end of the episode. In general storytelling, there is a long-standing characteristic of killing off strange characters and equating their lives with tragedy. But here, Bill and Frank live a fulfilling, loving life together, and they retain their freedom of action. What does Linda Ronstadt's A Long Time mean in The Last of Us? In A Long Time by Linda Ronstadt, Bill and Frank share an intimate moment. As the show goes on, Bill laments that he's getting old, but Frank is quick to reassure him that being old is a good thing. It means they're still together, alive, and still in love for a long, long time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and support my channel.